Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
Okay. And then, there is a policy associated with it. Right. And that policy protects or controls the access to the domain and subdomains. Like the traffic. Like the rule that tells you about the traffic behavior or what is acceptable or not acceptable around a traffic light. Okay, does it say okay? This rule is only for the traffic light on the crossing between 47th Street and Green River Road. Is it very specific like that? Is it rule specific to that particular traffic light? No. No, so it is. It is applicable to all traffic lights. So all the traffic lights are grouped together into a domain. Okay. So if there are subgroups on that, then we will put them into subdomains. But they are each and every single data object are grouped together into a two means and subdomains. Like example, like a first name, last name, middle name, three different fields, but very, very similar. And that's why they are grouped together into the same thing, into the two means. Now, who decides which field goes into what domain? Very complicated, right? There are so many different points of info. I think there are around 17,000 or something like data points. So maybe even more. Oh no, sorry, it's not 17. 75,000 data points pertaining to one single worker. And you can have 75,000 data points for one worker. So how do you group them together into domains and subdomains? Well, thanks to me Workday has done it for us. So we will not decide which field goes to what domain. Workday has done it for us. They have created the domains and subdomains. And they have put them together into something called as functional area. So it is like another classification, where they have grouped fields with similar kind of domains into one big functional area. So what they deliver? Its solution in functional areas. There are several functional areas in work. Like example, all the hiring-related activities, the hire business process, termination business process, and then the hire date, termination date, hire reason. All of that are part of the staffing functional area. The supervisor, the organization name. The supervisor, the organization's ID. The supervisor, the organization's roles and responsibilities. They all come under something called as organizations and roles. So they deliver the entire solution in terms of functional area. And functional areas will contain of business processes and domains. And domains will have domains and subdomains. And business processes will have business process definitions. Okay. And so, if I ask you this, what are the two types of security policies that we have in work? What would you say? Domains if you're AT, and business process security. Absolutely. So there are two types of security policies: domain security policy and business process security policy. And what does the domain security policy secure? So domain security policy is tied to domain, so yes, data. Domains and subdomains. So yes, data. It secures data. And what does a business process security policy secure? Business process. The business processes. The business processes. What kind of permissions does a domain security policy give you? What kind of permissions? View and modify. View and modify. View and modify. View and modify. Now let me ask you a very cheeky question. Can you have only modify without view? I cannot see it, but I can change it. No. No. Very silly. Very silly. It's ridiculous. So either you have a view axis, maybe you can see it, or you have a view in modify. So when I say modify, I implicitly imply that, yeah, I also have the view axis, so it is view plus modify. Okay, just make a note of it. They will ask you in this interview. Okay, can I have only modify without view? That's what I said. No. You have view or view plus modify. Now, okay, what kind of permissions will the business process security policy give you? Initiate. Oppose the view review. Right. Cancel correct. We will have all this kind of will be given by the business process security policy. Now we looked at it like domain security policy will tell you who has access to what. And a business process security policy says who can do what. What kind of approvals, what kind of actions you can take on the business processes site. If you can initiate, if you can review, if you can approve, etc. What did we talk about? Then we quickly looked at this, where we said that the worker is tied to a job or a position. So I gave you an example that if a worker changes the position, then what happens? Do they continue to keep the permissions of the previous position? No. They get the new set of permissions associated with the new position or the new role, whatever they are taking up. Because the role is tied to the position. Always, remember the role that we will assign. We will assign some roles today. The roles are always assigned to the position, not to the person. Okay. And the position is assigned to the assignable role. So that is how indirectly the worker is assigned to the role. Worker is not directly assigned to the role. Worker is assigned to the position. Position is assigned to the role. Now that brings us to an interesting question. Let's say the position is unfilled. You create a position right. You're planning to hire someone. But the position is unfilled. Can we still assign the position to a role? Noting so. Looks kind of assign. Assign. The role can be assigned. No, just an all can assign to the position. absolutely assigned and literally not be hired. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So we can still assign an unfilled position to a role. Right? We can assign an unfilled position to a role. So what happens?
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@upptalk.com.